Hello, all you out there. Stuttering Toy Nerd, or maybe for this particular review, the Stuttering Movie Nerd, will bring you a dose of some movie action. I've done only one other film review, and it was a Warner Premiere DC animated movie. Very, very highly recommended, Batman Under the Red Hood. So, this one should be no different, huh? It's a DC animated review. What is it? Well, considering that today is Tuesday, the 28th of September, you pretty much already know what this review is going to be about. That's right. Just finished watching Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. Is it a good film? No. Is it an entertaining film? Somewhat. But if I was to sum it all up into one word, I think, for those of you who have seen it, I think Big Barda has pretty much, summed it up very well. Redundant. Yeah, I find it redundant. It is a film that did not need to be made. Sure, it's based off a storyline that brought Supergirl back into the DC universe, but as a 6-issue series summed up into 75 minutes, it's not translated well. The artwork of Michael Turner, the manga-inspired art of Michael Turner that everyone adored, is faithfully adapted into this movie, but the animation is... It's one-dimensional, I know, but it's just one-dimensional. There's just nothing going on. It's boring. Nothing felt like it was popping off the screen for me. The voice acting was so-so. And I know, how can I say that? It's Kevin Conroy, Tim Daly, what the hell's her name? Susan Eisenberg, reprising their voices from Justice League, Batman, and Superman the Animated Series. But I felt only two voices really stood out. Well, three, actually. Yeah, three. Summer Glau as Kara, Supergirl, Andre Braugher as Darkseid, and Ed Asner as Granny Goodness. You just can't help but love Granny Goodness. Now, I felt Andre Braugher's brought a very dark tone to Darkseid. I really felt Andre Braugher was Darkseid. It would have been nice to see Michael Ironside back in the role, but, beggars can't be choosers. Ed Asner as Granny Goodness is always terrific. Always so over the top and so menacing, just like Granny Goodness. And Summer Glau brought a human, just that human touch to animation. I really felt for her. She was the only voice that I felt matched 100% to what the producers, what the filmmakers were going for. Now, the narrative's pretty simple. Batman investigates a meteor that crashed, the aftermath from the events of Superman, Batman, Public Enemies, and finds an empty rocket ship. After the occupant has escaped, he tracks her down throughout the city. When he finally does, she kicks the living crap out of him. Well, after Superman arrives on the scene and she is taken back to the Batcave and basically overgone as many tests as Batman can think of, it is come to realize that she is in fact Kryptonian, maybe even stronger than Superman. Well, after speaking Kryptonian, which I don't speak Kryptonian. I don't know Kryptonian. I'm not that much of a comic nerd. It would have been nice if they had some subtitles at the bottom of the screen so I knew what the hell they were talking about. So, after she's introduced as Superman's cousin, Batman doesn't trust her. No, with good reason. I mean, she trashes the city. She trashes Metropolis. She can't control her powers, and after the events of Public Enemies, Batman, I guess, just doesn't trust anyone. So he contacts Wonder Woman. At least, actually, she's contacted off-screen. I guess this character, Lila Harbinger, she comes into play somehow. She sees a vision, and all of a sudden Wonder Woman appears. You know, there's no explanation whatsoever. It's like characters appear and disappear, and then reappear, and then die, and it's all just a jumbled mess. I mean, you got a 6-issue storyline, and it's just plunged into 75 minutes, just condensed. A lot of things are missing. And unless you're a die-hard DC fan and know all of these characters, you're going to be lost. This is definitely not a movie for anyone who has never heard of the story, Michael Turner, Jeff Loeb, you know, any of these talented creators' work. You're just going to be left scratching your head as to what you've just seen. And another thing I felt really terrible, it was painful to watch the action sequences. They were choreographed pretty well, I mean, but it was just boring. I mean, just action sequence over action sequence over action sequence. There's no real reason why they're fighting, especially at the end, and I really don't want to give away the end, so spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, if you don't want it ruined for you, turn it off, turn my video off, go see the Batman, the Power Rangers, you know, just go see those other reviews, because I just gotta say it. What was the point of, after rescuing Kara from the clutches of Darkseid after a fateful gamble by Batman, which was pretty cool. That was probably one of the only parts I truly, truly did like. What was the point of bringing her home after Darkseid lets her go? They go to Kansas, they're going to open up, you know, the door, walk inside, and, you know, hopefully Ma's apple pie would be resting on the table. No, what happens, much like every single horror film in the 1980s, there was that final blow, that final scare, that final action sequence that just makes absolutely no sense and is just placed in there just because they felt like it. I can't remember if it was in the original comic book or not. If it was, you know, forgive me. But Superman, I mean, Darkseid punches through the door, and him and Superman just go at it. And then Kara saves Superman, and her and Darkseid go at it, and Superman gets punted to the sun, and he comes back and fights Darkseid again, and Kara almost dies. She comes back and fights him, and it's blown in the buildings and demolishing the farmhouse, and just, oh, God. I just wanted it to end. And when it finally does, I felt underwhelmed. It was a climax that was just so big, it felt anticlimactic by the time the whole thing was done and over with. It doesn't have a happy ending, though. I mean, you know, she, once again, spoiler alert, she dresses up in the Superman garb and flies off with her cousin back to Metropolis, and that's pretty much how it ends. Special features were alright enough. It's pretty much standard for what you will get with any animated universe Blu-ray. It's, you know, you got a commentary on Superman, I mean, Darkseid, Supergirl, 4 favorite episodes from Bruce Timm from the animated series of Superman, a bunch of trailers, and an inside look at the newest one, All-Star Superman. Granted, that's a great story. Much like the Apocalypse storyline from Superman Batman 8-13, All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison and Frank Whiteley was a great book. It's a great story. But there were other characters! Last time I checked, this is, the DC animated original movie, DC Universe, yet you're only focusing on Superman and Batman? Come on! Let's narrow it down. Okay. From the first release up until the next one. Superman Doomsday. Batman Gotham Knights. Or Gotham Knight, whatever. Justice League The New Frontier with Superman and Batman. And Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Green Lantern First Flight. Superman Batman Public Enemies. Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. Once again, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Batman Under the Red Hood. And Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. So how many of those did not star either one of the main characters? Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman? One! Give the DCU their due. After All-Star Superman and Batman Year One, whatever you're going for, Flash, Spectre, give those full movies. Phantom Stranger, Crimson Avenger, Slam Bradley, for crying out loud. Go back to the Golden Age. Bring some heroes that most of this generation have never heard of. No more Superman and Batman. You're going to end up ruining the series before it ever really starts to get going. They have great stories too. Use them. So, until next time, this rant has ended. So until next time, this is the Stuttering Movie Nerd saying, for die-hard fans only.